Hi everybody, Dr. Duresti, Cranial Release Technique, back with another video. Sort of a story that I wanted to share. Someone was asking me about this. It happened a while ago. It had to have been at least 10 years ago. I was in Las Vegas at a Parker seminar. It's a big chiropractic event. And I had a booth and I had a table and people were coming up and we were working on them with cranial release, so that chiropractors could experience the work. And the nice thing about those events is usually they're 3 or 4 days. So I believe it was a Thursday to Sunday in Las Vegas. And it was either Thursday, it might have been Thursday, early Thursday afternoon, maybe after lunch. Or right before lunch, if memory serves me right. And a very nice young man came up, chiropractor from Southern California. And we were just talking, and I asked everybody anything I need to know about it. He said, "No, everything's good." He was in good shape. He was a surfer. I would guess he was early 30s, maybe. He said, "The only one strange thing is that I have varicose veins only on my left leg." And he pulled up his pants leg, and you could see his calves full of varicose veins. He opened his pants a little bit, you could see on his thigh, varicose veins. Right side, nothing. Left leg only. I said, "That's interesting. You never know what you're going to run into." But then I explained to him, well, it's the same concept, regardless of what you said or didn't say. It doesn't really matter to me. Because remember, the brain controls the body. The brain controls every function, the things that we're aware of and not aware of. So we were in agreement with that. I then reminded him that there are 22 bones that, let me just take care of this. There are 22 bones that protect the skull. 22 bones, pardon me, I had a phone call that came in. 22 bones that protect the brain, that's called the skull. So we explained that, and I explained to him that each one of these bones remains separate. Okay, no problem there. I said, the problem is those bones can misalign, and when they misalign, that puts mechanical tension on the brain, on the central nervous system. The rest of the body, there's no way the body can properly function. It's impossible. I then explained to him about how those 22 cranial bones are constantly moving or constantly breathing. It's called the primary respiratory mechanism. And so we looked at him and we saw one eye was low, one ear was low, one eye was more closed, and he had a distorted cranium. And I explained to him how that would distort and interfere with this normal primary respiratory mechanism. And so the cranial release technique was going to open and align the cranium, restore the primary respiratory mechanism, allow the body to function better, and we'll see what happens. We'll give it a shot. He said, great. And like I said, I want to say around lunchtime, maybe right before lunch on a Thursday. And I remember that because there's an interesting twist to the story. So I worked on him. Great. Go have lunch. Do me a favor, I told him, come back around 3 or 4 o'clock because I'm only here for 3 or 4 days, and if I can see you more than once in a day, that probably would be better. Let's see if we can turn on the juice, so to speak. Get the cranium moving, get the physiology balanced. He said, great, I'll be back in the afternoon. 3, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, no surfer. I figured he went surfing, except in Las Vegas, not many places to surf. The next morning, 10 o'clock, I'm back at the booth. Here he comes. He said, it was the strangest thing that happened to me. I said, what's that? He said, I left you. I went and had lunch. I went to my afternoon class. I started getting very sleepy. Unusual for me, he said. And I went up to my room just to take a little siesta. Turns out one of these sleeps from 3 or 4 in the afternoon until the next morning. And he said, before I went to bed, the left leg with the varicose veins was sweating profusely, sweating so much that my one pant leg was getting wet. I said, well, that's interesting. And he said, take a look at this. And he lifts up his pants and shows me those varicose veins, which I'll call a 10 out of 10, were now a 2 out of 10. He said, this is incredible. This has been with me for years. I said, well, something to do with the nervous system. Obviously, we hit the right button at the right time. I worked on him again. That would have been Friday. I worked on him again Saturday. And then off he went, and he was, in his words, 80, 90% better. And I'm assuming that he was going to go follow up with someone in California, and I'm hoping that that problem was taken care of. So that's what you're going to see and hear with cranial release. It's nothing special. It's, remember, 80% of the nervous system is above the atlas, is above C1, is in the cranium, 80%. So if we can address this 80%, and then the additional 20% with the cranial release technique, wonderful things happen. So that's the story about the surfer guy in Las Vegas, and that had to have been 10, if not 15 years ago. If you're out there and you're a practitioner and you're thinking of, and you're interested in learning the cranial release technique, you can visit the website at cranialrelease.com. Again, that's one word, cranialrelease.com. There's a button there that says online training program. You can click that button. That'll take you to the training site where you can learn the cranial release technique, everything there is to know about it from me in the comfort of your home or office. If you're out there and you're a patient and you'd like to experience cranial release, please visit the website, cranialrelease.com. There's a button called Find a Practitioner, and you can search for a practitioner. Hopefully there's one in your area, and you can get on the table and experience this wonderful technique. And hopefully you'll feel some benefits from it as well. You'll experience the benefits that virtually everyone that gets on the table says, hey, I feel more relaxed, I feel more balanced, I sleep better, I eat better, this, that, I digest better. Anything is possible because you're addressing the main computer, the brain, which controls every function in the body. Again, the things that you're aware of, the things that you're not aware of. Okay, that's it. Simple. This is Dr. Duresti, Cranial Release Technique. Cranialrelease.com again is the website. Hope to see you down the road. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you soon. Adios. Bye-bye.